Hi, and welcome back to the We Need to Roast podcast. I'm your host, Neil, and yes, I have been in cryo-sleep for a little while. And I'm joined by my fellow lost people, David, Marie, and Jose. We're going to be talking xenomorphs and the various other horrific nightmare fuel monsters that Noah Hawley cooked up with his TV adaptation of Alien in Alien Earth. We're going to be talking Peter Pan, Symphonic's hybrids, and everyone's favourite ice squid monster, T. Ocelus, better known as Species 64, and also where we would want a second season to go. But before we get into the good, the bad, and the multiple what the fuck moments from Alien Earth, my first question is, as always, throw a spanner in the works. Who would we be in the cast? Dun dun dun. Just a look of horror on everyone's faces.
I mean, we all know I clearly give Xenomorph energy. Like, if I had that power, like, we all know I would go on a murderous rampage.
I mean, I was going to say Wendy, because clearly you would try and tame the Xenomorph, right? Be like, oh, pets. Oh, nice. Nice Xenomorph.
To be honest, like, having a murderous pet does also sound like me. Oh, that would give me way too much power.
I was going to say, Jose, I think you most have the look of Morrow. I get Jose remembering who Morrow is.
Because he has
the
swagger.
cyborg.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the cast list. I'm like, I appreciate that because he was a badass.
He does give off a bit of the Morrow.
Yeah, you got the Morrow vibe, but also you're generally the good guy, so that means you're a hermit, which means also you shot Libs, and that means she's going to kill you in season 2.
I mean, I would have considered myself more of a Bronsky. He was that male security guard that no one really knew about. But
number 5. That's
he's one of the friends that got hired after the crash.
Bronsky Beat?
Max Reinhardt.
Okay. Now me, obviously, I have the I have Aid Edmondson's characters going on, don't I? You know, which is slightly baldest if you ask me. But if I had to pick a character, and this is who everyone wants to be anyway, I'd love to be Kirsch. He does not give a fuck.
He's a badass.
As someone said online, and I don't know who it was, but the best description I've ever seen of Kirsch mentioned was, he looks like an angry barn cat who has just been awakened. And he just looks like a permanently annoyed cat. And
it's the hair.
It's the hair. He does look like an annoyed cat all the time. And David, I'm getting big boy Cavalier energy from you, I'm afraid.
Come on. I'm nothing like Boy Cavalier.
There we go.
Well, this is now Quentin Tarantino's favourite podcast ever as well.
Oh,
ooh, nice.
Okay, then we put those away. That was really uncomfortable.
Okay, that was
so
a
uncomfortable.
moment there. David just cemented his score on WikiFeet, so go rate that.
Boom. Hey, we got to make money somehow.
Yeah, true.
Yep. Right, well, I think we're ready to start. Has everyone got their water bottles?
I'm going to opt out today. That was messed up. So,
Alien Earth. Yes, on paper, this sounded like a terrible idea. Just like when Noah Hawley took on a TV adaptation of the Coen brothers' nigh-on perfect film, Fargo. Why? We all asked. But then, Fargo was actually really good. And we had 5 seasons of really good damn drama. So we were like, you know what? In Hawley, we trust. So, again, when this show was announced, we were like, oh no. But then, when he was announced as a showrunner, I was really excited for this. Although I was a bit less thrilled when I heard it was going to be set 2 years before the original film. Because please, people with franchises, why do we need prequels for everything? Set stuff after the shows and movies we've loved. See those stories continue. That would be nice as well. But Empire did give this 5 stars on the live podcast that I went to. And they were just like, it absolutely nails it. Which I think we have mixed opinions on. Before we dive into good, the bad, and the multiple what the fucks from Alien Earth, I want everyone's brief opinions of what they thought of the show overall. Jose.
I have to say, overall, it is a good show. It's a great look into the world of the aliens and Weyland-Yutani Corporation, expanding upon the background of why everyone is so entranced by this species. I feel like maybe the execution's not the best, but it's more just because it's very difficult to make things happen without people being completely idiots. But that's my opinion.
Well, David.
I think if you're a fan of the Alien movies, and if you're a fan of Prometheus, and if you're a fan of Romulus, the most recent film, I think you should definitely watch this. However, I think it can be improved a lot.
Sorry, are there fans of Prometheus?
Prometheus
I
isn't
kind-
that
kinda
bad.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Yeah.
she just zigged instead of zagging when the ship was rolling after her, it would have been fine.
So stupid. Anyway,
Very
like, I mean, I'm with David on this one. Can I just say how like you guys should be proud that I watched 8 episodes of a horror show? Like,
Very proud. Very
I mean,
proud.
I have an issue with calling it a horror show, but that will get
yeah,
into
to
that.
me, maybe that's why I survived it.
Ooh.
And to be honest, I do
Ooh.
really like the first 2 Alien movies. I
As does everyone.
genuinely really enjoyed them, and it's one of those like genre jumping movies that even I could enjoy them. So like I did like check this show out because you guys said it wasn't complete piece of garbage, but I did leave disappointed, I have to say. Like
Mm.
it started off great, but it didn't hit the highs that I expected it would.
I really enjoyed it. So screw you guys. No, I get when we've talked off camera about everyone's thoughts on the show, which we're going to get into, and I can see your points on all of them, but I feel at a certain point in a show like this, you just go with the flow of it and enjoy it. And
No.
I went with the flow of it and I enjoyed it. No, there is no Marie. It's my opinion.
Yeah, no, I always have to be right, and you're wrong.
But no,
We'll get
your
into
opinion's
that.
I'm guessing my section of the good is going to be quite short compared to the other sections. So the good, completely out of left field, Nibs Libs.
Woo!
I mean, my video I did before we'd seen an episode of the show. This girl has the worst luck as an actress. She always gets killed in every show she's in. Lily Newmark. Or she's in a show, it gets cancelled. I mean, we mentioned this before, Free Body Problem. Oh, she's in that. That's going to be really good. Oh, and she's dead before the credits rolled. It's just like, so, and then when we saw the poster for this, she's in the background of the poster. It's not looking well. In the trailer, you see the bit where Osculus attacks her, then you see her covered in blood. You're just thinking, she's not going to make it out of there. And they even swerved me in the penultimate episode when she has her awesome moment where she's like, Mr. Strawberry says, fuck you, which is my line of the season. And then rips that
Mr.
guy's jaw
Strawberry
off.
says, fuck you.
Yes. It was just like, yes. Because I was just waiting
Isn't
for
it
her.
fuck off?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Oh.
we got it wrong.
We get the point. We get the point.
We had the feel of it. We had the feel of it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, as the season progressed as well, she got a little bit more to do. And again, in a
Yes.
season where you've got adult actors playing children, they did so well on that side of it.
Mhm.
Like, you would be absolutely fucking traumatized if you're a small girl who has seen all that shit. So of course, when you're having a therapy session as a small child and you don't like what your therapist's saying, you can't just menacingly jump up in their face and threaten to murder them.
Although, was she a therapist?
Wow, Dame Sylvia, what was she? She was, but
Whatever
it
the
was
plot needed her to be, Neil. That's what she was.
Okay, but anyway, from that moment on, I was primed for a Nibs killing spree, which we kind of got. She ripped that one guy's jaw off, and then Hermit was a douchebag and shot her. But I thought she was dead then. Did you? Did you all think she was dead at that point?
Yeah, I thought she was dead as well.
Yeah.
Because
the
of
way she
Wendy's
crumbled
reaction.
up, and it was like pretty bad.
It was Wendy's reaction more that gave the fact that she'd been killed.
What did you
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
They kind of like
I'm like,
we're
that wasn't that big of a deal
That-
to me, honestly.
yeah, exactly.
was-
By the end of
I'm
it,
like-
it's
She was
just like the
fine.
next episode, barely an inconvenience. Like, fine.
And
Barely an
ruined it because
inconvenience.
when there was a trailer for the finale, she was in the trailer. I was like, is this a flashback? Wait, is she alive? Has she made it through a whole season of TV without being killed? And she did. So yes.
I mean, Neil, I'd argue that she was never alive to begin with.
but
But
I
Getting
don't-
deep.
Oh.
You had that same argument before we even watched the show.
I
Dan.
know, I told you, like, she might not even be alive, because before we knew she was a simp or a hybrid or whatever.
Let me rephrase in a way that isn't being pedantic. She was in the show. Her character was in the show from start to finish and was not eradicated from it.
Yeah. Which we can't say the same for like,
Most of the cast.
No, well, we call him
Well, son.
Jasper because from Shadow and Bone, Toodles. Is it Toodles? Toodless?
Yeah,
Well, I don't-
Toodaloo.
Toodles.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
Yeah, these names are
Whatever.
ridiculous.
I mean, they are. But
Jay and
I
Barry would
did
have
really
words with
feel-
you on that, Jose.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because he also did such a good job in the show, and like, yeah, he was the best part in Shadow and Bone, and then it got cancelled, and like, so now, like, when he was in this, I didn't know he was in this until he popped up, and I was like, ah, it was the Leo meme, and so I was just like,
Here-
aw.
here's a question for you, Neil. You seemed very excited to see Lily Newmark, but has she risen to the level of Sean Bean to being killed just as much as him?
No,
Because
she,
that's
I mean,
she,
there's a
she, she, she
significant age difference.
yeah, she's got
I,
time. She's got
I'm
time.
not saying career wise she's good, but I'm just saying the way you react of her surviving is like Sean Bean level of surviving.
She, like, Neil's right. She is a one episode wonder. Like,
Oh
it's
man,
it's
that's
like she
crazy.
pops out and pops back in. Like, even if Lockwood and Co didn't get canceled, she wouldn't have been in the
Second season.
season two, second season because
Spoiler for the
directed by.
books.
Oh,
She's not even in the books. She's a booker.
Oh,
She's a show
oh yeah,
original
yeah, yeah.
character.
oh, okay,
Well,
cool.
she
cool,
would
cool.
have been back then, because why would you keep cutting back to her throughout the season?
I mean, maybe I like that's one of the ones where I generally don't know where they were going with that because, like, in the book, once you're ghost locked, you're fucked. Lockwood and Co. TV writers will need to tell us that.
Well, while we're on the acting, let's talk about the acting, because that's definitely one of the big pluses of the show, I think.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
I agree, but most people don't, which is interesting.
Really? Yeah, but I think people are missing. I think people are disagreeing with the acting for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Yes, I say that when you hate a character for acting dumb, you don't realize that that's them acting dumb.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be playing children who are emotionally immature, who don't know how to handle serious situations, and they did a great job. Like, I'll admit, in the beginning, about halfway through, that's when I realized, oh yeah, these kids don't know better. They're idiots, which is why I was upset that Isaac was sent to feed the animals by himself. And I'm like, guys, shouldn't we have at least two or three other staff members in there?
Yeah, an adult
Right?
present. Yep.
And Kirsch is just watching, like,
Kirsch
with
is
everything
like,
unfold.
whatever.
Yeah. I'm just saying, yeah, it really does take, because that's the one thing where it's like the script can be good and bad at the same time, because the overall plot is really interesting in terms of like where these characters are going. And even though some ideas I think are kind of dumb, but like, and maybe a little too convoluted, some of the outcomes are really interesting.
I was about to say, we are still on the good. Yeah, I mean, I thought the kid performances of them playing children was so good. I mean, hands down, Jonathan Ajay, I think, as
Smee. Was
Smee.
that Smee? Yeah, Smee was
yeah,
my
Smee.
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was so good. And Adarsh Gourav as Slightly as well.
Yeah, it was like the scene where he's like, "No one wants to play with me," and it was just honestly like such a good like kid-like
Yeah.
performances, and that is actually like hard to do, like adults
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
kids because they're like completely.
How stupid! I mean, as an actor, you'd be thinking, "Oh, that's just going to be fucking stupid. It's going to look terrible." So to have
Yeah.
the
I feel
balls
like
to
it's
do
something you do in like uni at like acting class or something.
Yeah,
That's like a
Five,
session that they
go.
do.
I
Yeah.
know I did that in drama, like when
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did
yeah.
drama,
Like it's a
like,
drama class or something.
but it's just like crying and stuff, and not actually acting like a 10-year-old and 11-year-old because like there's like usually like people like it's babies or like teenagers, and like they never like portray people like in between. So
Yeah.
Did Colin Farrell pop in and teach you how to cry?
no, I missed him every single time.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
He made me cry once, but that's because I watched Total Recall.
Oh, hey, shots fired.
Terrible. It's
But
terrible.
yeah, I'd have to say Nibs did a good job of portraying traumatized, while Slightly was just really good at like not knowing what to do with his mom being
Clueless
captured.
Yeah, and he was manipulated. And if you think Morrow,
Mm-hmm.
Babou Ceesay's Morrow is so good at manipulating him,
Very
as
creepy.
that's how you would get a child. You would threaten their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, you can
he's-
get majority of that, majority of people like that, but yeah.
But I mean, let's talk Morrow as well, because he was a very interesting character.
Oh, it's. I like to think that at first you think he's evil, and then you realize in the end he's really just trying to do his job, because they are the ones in charge of the aliens, and so he's just really good at his job. He just shows no emotion.
I felt like he had to have been a synth before you found out he wasn't.
Yeah.
Because of just how emotionless his portrayal
Oh,
of the character
man.
was
Yeah.
most of the time.
But then we got his flashback about his kid, didn't we? So that kind of cleared it in a little bit for us.
Yeah.
I mean, it does make sense because he like literally sacrificed everything thing for this, and he has nothing left anymore. But yeah, but when he like came up, like I did like even have to look up like, has this already been a character in the show? Like I thought he was like a prequel character just because he fits so well into the world. And I
Yeah.
just like where I just thought, okay, have we seen this character before? But no, it was a completely like new
Yeah.
character. But because he fits so well, I thought we had seen him before in like the
Yeah.
highest compliments.
I mean, how badass is he is it episode 2 when he just takes down an alien? Like, how many films have you watched where like everyone is totally crap, gets murdered horribly all the time, and he just like boom gets his foam gun net thing out and just takes down an alien like that,
Well,
bags and tags it. I was like,
he shocks it first and then bags it. So it shows you that there is a weakness to these aliens that we probably didn't realize before. I
no,
never saw that before.
and no one apparently has realised since in all the films that
Oh
have
my
been made.
goodness, yeah. But I have to say, the idea of him being a cyborg is a great addition to the world of this aliens. I think that was something that we probably would have never have thought of beforehand, because we think, oh, synthetic or real, but we've never thought of converting the two.
Well, it's in the show's opening spiel at the start, isn't it? It mentions there's cyborgs, there's simps, and then there's something new, which is what
Children.
the children are, yeah. And speaking of the children, the main one, Sydney Chandler as Wendy, who I don't think anyone had seen in anything before this, had they? She hadn't really done a lot of work.
I don't know of her at
I
all.
don't think so.
I mean, she is. The thing she's probably most famous for is being the daughter of Carl Chandler.
I was about to say, I know there is a nepotism angle there.
But then I thought she was really good. I mean, she's definitely got, with a haircut, it definitely gave me like an Anna de Armas vibe.
I think she did a good job as a relative newcomer to at least an American audience. She portrayed being a child really well, and as someone who has powers that are not really explained, I think she
Yeah.
did a really good job of not overdoing it, not overacting. So I thought that was pretty good.
I want a quick shout out for Aid Edmondson. Now, me and David probably know, probably Marie as well, Aid Edmondson. He played Atom Ends, the cyborg guy, who you only find out's a cyborg in like the second to last episode. Jose, do you know this man's history and his backstory?
Does he play a cyborg or a synth? Because I figured he was a synth.
He could be either.
He was a
That's
synth,
not,
yeah.
He's a synth.
He
That's
was the
not the point
synth that he built when he was 12 or something.
Yeah, to
I forgot
to replace his dad.
Yes.
He is one of England's most well-known comedic actors from the 80s.
No way.
He was in The Young Ones with Rick Mayall. He was in Bottom, which is one of the greatest violent sitcoms of all time. And everyone was absolutely amazed in England when they saw this, like, holy shit, it's him in not a comedic role, but also he's really fucking good. He doesn't have a lot to do this season, but I read an article and someone was like, what could have been if he decided to become a serious dramatic actor all those years ago rather than... I mean, to be fair, he made his name in comedy. Like, he was amazing in everything he's been in over the years. To see this extra, like, quiver to his bow at this point in his career, I was like, yes, man, I really want to see more of him in more stuff going forward. He's also got another favourite line of mine where he says, I'll find a mould worker.
Yes.
One other thing I really want to talk about is the new aliens. I have them all in the good because
Yes.
the idea is that Hawley said he didn't want to go the traditional route of making the standard alien thing where a bunch of people get stalked by an alien and then they all die and then one person probably survives and blows it out of fucking airlock, because that's pretty much every film. And he
You say
decided...
that, but it was still the best episode of the show is when they did that.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't blow it out the airlock.
Didn't blow it out.
No.
But he decided to introduce 4 new aliens as well as a xenomorph, which is great because we don't know how they work. We don't know what they do. So that was a really good bit of the show, I thought. And those aliens were, we had Species 19, which were the tick-style bugs that feed off the blood of humans and animals and have Tapo-like offspring that can get into your water bottles. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Grossly.
We have everyone's favourite eye monster, Species 64, otherwise known as Teocelus, which seems to be the most intelligent of all the new aliens, as it can zombie puppet any organism, starting with the cat. And Marie, how did you not check out of the show? Remember me and David, we were like in a group chat. We was like, oh, she's not. This is where she checked out.
This ain't the show for Marie.
This ain't the show for Marie. Like, there is a zombie cat and an eyeball pulls itself out of a dead cat. Like,
I don't know. I had honestly the best time with episode 2. So like I don't
You
know. Maybe I'm
forgave
just
it?
like as I get older, I just get more dead inside. I don't know. I just because I knew something bad was gonna happen. You guys were hyping it up so much, and I was just like, because you guys were saying like Marie's gonna be behind the sofa, like she's gonna die, and then I was just like, I'm gonna prove you motherfuckers wrong, and I'm gonna sit through this without a single emotional support donut. And yeah, had an absolute blast. I don't know, maybe because I just knew the cat was fucked from the beginning, so it's like maybe if I saw the cat alive in a previous scene, it may have been better. But yeah, no, it also it happened so fast. So yeah, I was like fine with that.
Did you guys notice that it always attacked the left eye?
Any
Yeah.
reason for that, Jose, or just you noticed it?
I mean, in the past, left-handedness in general has always been seen as an evil.
Intelligence.
Well, that and an evil trait of demons as well.
We have Oculus go from a cat into a sheep, and eventually into Arthur's corpse.
Yeah, I was wondering why they kept showing his body.
Now, there's one bit here with Oculus that a lot of people raised a comment on in episode 5, which is: did the eye monster try and warn the scientist lady that the creepy crawly things were loose, or was it freeing itself as self-preservation as a way to get free and maybe controlling the other alien? So, was it self-preservation to get free, or was it trying to warn her? Jose, what do you think?
You know, in that scene by itself, it did seem like it was trying to warn her, but watching the entire series, I think it was actually self-preservation. It does seem smart enough to do that.
David?
Yeah, at the time, I thought the same. I thought it was trying to warn her. But then it would make more sense that it's trying to escape itself. Or,
Yeah.
I'd like, yeah. So, same as Jose.
Marie?
I genuinely think it was trying to warn her, because afterwards when it escapes, it gets into one of the crew members and it doesn't attack right away. It only attacks when it attacks. It actually tries to
Oh.
speak. So I think he was like just sussing out the situation, gets into a human, realizes how fucking dumb we are, and was, oh yeah, we're screwed. Like, bye.
Yeah.
But I think at that point, maybe he was trying to warn her and going like, dude, pay attention, you're being stupid right now.
I think it was. I'm going to go with Jose. Though I think it was self-preservation. It was, this is how I get a free, and then I can go and steal corpses. And also the other two aliens that we haven't mentioned. The one that didn't get much to do until the finale, which was, and I don't know where this name come from, but apparently something online told me this is its name, D. Plumacare, the Venus flytrap style ceiling plant alien,
I just called it the vagina plant.
or the vagina plant as it's now been termed on
Should
this podcast.
get yourself checked out, Marie.
All right.
Oh. Damn.
Bold claim there. Bold claim.
And finally, moving on very, very swiftly, we have The Fly, which seemed harmless enough until it killed Toodles with its acid spit. And,
It
Toodaloo.
makes you wonder if it was like the opposite of the other aliens, where it left regular people alone, but then Toodles, knowing that it was a machine, it attacked him. Think about it, like the Venus flytrap, when they were on the ship to even collect it, Toodles and Timothy Olyphant were just standing there and it didn't do anything. But then as soon as the soldiers walked by, it ate up that woman. So I think these creatures to some degree can kind of sense whether it's a human or whether it's a machine. And I think that was kind of like a nice touch.
Blood. We're going to be revisiting these creatures down in another section, so I'll save my thoughts on that.
Well, one thing I know you do want to talk about in the good section, Marie, is the production design of the show.
Yeah. I really appreciated like how they like recreated like the first movie and the looks of it, because like obviously when they made that when they made the first movie, when was it?
79?
Like I know they didn't have that much of a budget. They even took lights from the Who were shooting a music video next door, and so it's like they did what they could with the budget they had, and of course the technology available at the time. And then of course now that we have like progressed way in the film industry, they could have done something different, but I love that they kept it like that, and they didn't even try to like CGI it up a bit. Like that. It's sometimes that happens a lot in Star Wars, where they like take like the old-timey futuristic design, but then kind of give it like a bit of a polish. And I really appreciate that they didn't do that. And it was like just so nice seeing the pods again, like the spaceship wall that always reminds me of like a padded cell. And then like outside as well, like everything. Yeah, it really, other than, all the murderous aliens and the blood, it really was a feast for the eyes.
And of course, they kept Man in a Suit.
I love that. I will always be on the side of practical effects. I will always be on the side of practical effects, and the fact that they kept the like a man in a suit for the alien, it also makes me really want to cosplay a Xenomorph for Comic-Con one year. I know I'm going to die of heat exhaustion.
Cool.
But
That's cool.
It would be so much fun. I've actually seen so many good ones at conventions. It would cost a fortune, so this podcast needs to take off in order for me to do that.
Just black plastic bags and lots of black tape.
Jose, if there's one thing about me is I do not half-ass my cosplays.
I love it.
I'm a perfectionist, so it's this full suit or nada.
I was with Marie and like the practical effects and the man in the suit of the alien. It does make a difference.
Did you see the behind-the-scenes picture? Where there's like the most handsome alien ever, and it's like the guy's like a really
I wondered why
dude.
the aliens were a little bit sexier. They like genuinely had a bit of sex appeal. These xenomorphs.
I worry about you sometimes, David.
They had something going.
I know I've talked openly
like
on
from
this
certain
podcast
angles
about me wanting to fuck a certain alien, but like that alien, it's not the same.
From certain angles, okay, it had a nice ass.
The angle of the dangle is not in proportion to the heat of the beans.
But like with the whole man in a suit thing, that's exactly what in the original Alien they didn't want as the Xeno. They didn't want the man in the suit, and like some of the plans that they were running through was to go for like a shaved orangutan as the alien.
I remember that.
Because like who's seen a shaved? Like, tell me what a shaved orangutan looks like.
No,
like,
Naked man.
That's just wrong.
There's the alien. That was one of the ideas.
And then wasn't the response to that? Oh, but then we can't control a shaved orangutan because it's probably going to be really angry that we shaved
We've had
it.
a nope situation going on. But yeah, and so it's cool that the man in the suit thing works.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I kind of liked as well the idea of the 5 corporations controlling the whole planet, because let's face it, we're not really that far away from it, are we?
Capitalism.
Yay.
Not very far.
I feel like we're pretty far away, guys. I feel like you guys have lost a lot of hope in...
Yeah, hooray for beating
billionaire
down.
Is Jose's president? I don't think we're far off. Like,
oh shit! Yeah, that man was on The Apprentice.
Yeah.
Just put me on a ship and send me off to Hadley's Hope, man. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with this planet.
Before we get off topic too much, I do want to give a huge shout out to the YouTube channel Creative Briefs for their video called Alien Explained: The Sign You Missed. They did a great job of explaining Ron Cobb's standard alien glyphs for the original movie, which I think lends itself to the show amazingly. That guy, Ron Cobb, he did such an extensive job where he not only did the set, but also the costumes and the patches, to where if you see it and you know the context, you know what's going on. And it reflects the idea that these ships were going to have people from all different walks of, or all different countries with different languages. So that way you don't need to learn English to understand the signs. And I think they did such a great job that they were able to carry on in this episodes where they were on the ship. And I wanted to say that that's I think one of my favorite things was just everything looks so similar to the original Alien, and that it was because of that strong base of design that I think it allowed it to be carried into the present, even with like maybe a little polish here and there, but they were able to make it look like it was a set that was lived in still.
Nice. One thing, obviously, in the good for me, and I think a lot of people's favourite things about the whole show in general, is the end of episode needle drops. Strap in.
Yeah,
I
sure,
have notes.
Neil.
Sometimes I wish people could see our group chat because Jose roasted Neil on this one.
What was the comment, Jose?
Just throw in a rock song at the end and you'll be happy.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And
Don't
I mean,
you laugh, David. Before we started recording, David literally said, Jose, who were the Ramones?
I don't.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I know of them, at least.
And that ties in because Ben, who was trying to get for the Star Trek pod, can't make the Star Trek pod in next week because it's one of the Ramones' birthday parties that he's at.
Who?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so important. I'm so jealous. I don't even know who they are, and I'm still jealous.
I don't know who they are
Oh.
either.
I mean,
Like
I know who
Cheddar.
they are, but I don't know their songs off the top of my
Well,
head.
getting on to bands some of you might have heard of. I'm looking at Marie because when it
I'm
comes
your
to
only
music
hope.
here. So, the first episode ends with Black Sabbath's The Mob Rules,
Yep.
but not Ozzy, Dio era. And again, just for people who don't know, there were different singers for Black Sabbath throughout the years. Jose,
Oh, okay.
Ronnie James
okay.
Dio, and Ozzy Osbourne. And they just kind of kept going back and forth. Episode 2, one band who rarely ever licensed their music and had the most fucked up videos of all time early in the day, Tool, with the interesting song Stinkfist. Episode 3, one of my all-time favourite bands, and perfect for the end of the show, Metallica, Wherever I May Roam. Next episode, Jane's Addiction, Ocean Size, which again, not one of their more well-known tracks, so keys in with what's going on in the episode. Next episode, Smashing Pumpkins, Cherub Rock off Siamese Dream, which is probably, for a lot of people, their best album. Next episode, Godsmack, Keep Away. Now, I never liked Godsmack back in the day, because they were one of these, like, alt rock metal grunge bands who just sounded like Alice in Chains, who were the proper grunge band. And they always seemed like, Godsmack is actually an Alice in Chains song. So it was like, oh, cool. So you love these guys that much, you named your band after them. That's cool. But also, you're out at the same time as them. And you sound like a third-rate version of them.
Ooh.
But, and it wasn't me, someone else wrote this online, so I stole it, and I can't remember from where. It was Twitter. But someone said this could be seen as the inner monologue for a certain possessed sheep. Because the lyrics to that song go, sickness spilling through your eyes, craving everything that you thought was alive. I mean, that aligns nicely with our zombie sheep, right? And it's Alien Eyeball watching everything. Next episode, Queens of the Stone Age, Song for the Dead. I mean, that's kind of on the nose because it's literally Arthur dead on the beach.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Arthur for now. And the last episode, Pearl Jam, Animal. And this works so well for so many reasons. 1, it's a brilliant song. 2, the lyrics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 1. Torture from you to me, I'd rather be with an animal. There's literally 5 of them. There's 5 of the the new hybrids, and the lyrics perfectly encapsulate the season really, and how Wendy and the Lost Boys have gone from kids and awakening to their power, and how they'd rather be with the aliens than the corporation humans. My only negative on this is the same song was used really recently as the end credits for the first episode of The Bear.
Oh.
And I really don't like it when shows use the same big song so close together.
Yeah.
I mean, there's another one at the minute. So completely off topic, but kind of not because it's still about music, and I'll make it brief. So another example of a song recently that was in 2 shows in the same year and the same country. So Mobland was an Irish drama on Paramount Plus with Pierce Brosnan, Tom Hardy, and Helen Mirren. And the theme song to that show is Fontaine's Starburster. House of Guinness used that song in their first episode. But their excuse is going to be, but the whole soundtrack is all Irish bands, which is fair enough. But again, literally, it was a gangster show in Ireland, came out the same year, and you've used the same song. So as great as a song as it is, it's just lazy for me.
It's lazy.
I don't know where I was going with that. Let's
There's
get back to Alien.
enough time to cross-check. I mean, like, TV shows are in production for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, I'll give it up. I do respect a good song at the end of a show. I think one of the best shows that I would notice was Silicon Valley. After every episode,
It's a rap song though.
Oh yeah, that's my jam.
But it was a different rap song. It wasn't the same song.
Always a different song. So it kind of did the same thing. It would always relate somewhat to the show or something just random and crazy. I think kind of encapsulated the show pretty well. And it was just enough to where you would notice it at the end of the episode.
I have one last note on the Pearl Jam song at the end of the thing, because this just takes it that little bit deeper.
Got it.
The song is from Pearl Jam's second album, which is called Verses. And the album cover, and I can't believe I didn't remember this, is a sheep. Come on, people. The sound guys there knew their shit. Like, wait a minute. The lyrics, the image, everything.
I just, one day, Neil, I would love for you to find someone that cares as much about needle drops in films as you do.
I mean,
Because
David completely
it's
tuned out for
that's
that
so
conversation.
mean.
It's a genuine passion, and I'm sad that I don't enjoy it as much as you do. Because it is like you do love it.
I've met that person. His name is Ben, and he occasionally appears on the podcast once or twice a year when he's not off managing rock stars and separating M&Ms. Now, David, you're good. your main major good is. Tell the people.
Was it Timothy Olyphant? Is that what I said?
No.
Oh, what did I say?
Episode
I do like
5.
Timothy Olyphant, though. Oh, yeah, episode 5. Yeah, episode 5 was the best episode, and that should have just been the movie, and they should have ended it there. Or they could have combined it with episode 2 and 3 and had episode 5, 2, and 3, and they could have done it as a non-linear story of about 5 episodes of a show over those 3, and I would have really enjoyed that as a TV show, and I think it would have been a better TV show than the one we watched, because they were the best episodes.
Anything more?
No, that's what I got. Episode 4, it was a throwback, wasn't it? It was a throwback episode to the original Alien film, which for me is my favourite Alien film, so I'm a fan of Alien.
I'm a fan of Aliens.
I like
love
Aliens, but
I saw Aliens at the cinema just last week on a re-release, and oh my god, it's gone from being a good film, a great film, to I think in probably that it's in my top 10 of all time. It's that good now.
yeah,
That good.
Alien for me is that, and it's a throwback to that film. Yeah, there's a lot. It's just by far the best episode. Surely everybody agrees that episode 5 is the best episode, right? I'm not the only one on that.
It's not perfect, but it's the best.
Yeah, it isn't perfect. You're right, but it is by far the best.
Like looking at me.
And then if you've got and I think if you combine it with episodes 2 and 3, and you tell it in that non-linear way that they kind of did, I think that alone will make a much better TV show than, like, fleshed out a little bit than what we got.
I want to shout for Samuel Blenkin as Boy Cavalier, because he played an absolutely brilliant douchebag.
Yep.
Like,
Yes, very good.
Person you want to punch.
yeah, or get murdered horribly by an alien. I mean, we were so hoping that was going to happen, and he survived.
Yeah,
Bastard.
honestly, I was expecting that at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we have to talk. As David mentioned, Kirsch. Kirsch is such a cool character. Kirsch and Morrow, Cyborg versus Synth, as I got.
Cyborg versus Synth, that whole like rivalry that they had throughout.
Oh, the elevator banter.
Oh yeah, the elevator banter.
Man. That
I'll
was
see you
awesome.
soon, old toy.
Old toy. Yeah. And then their actual little fight. Yeah. Everything about
So
that
good.
was just so well done. Slow burn, build up, only a couple of scenes. That's all you need to have just made that the most properly epic moment. Best moment of that episode, which was a big disappointment.
Just the utter antagonism every scene between the two of them. Like, if we go back to the angry cat analogy, it's like getting two cats that don't like each other and just dropping them in the same room, and they're like, "Rah!"
Yeah.
Although, after watching The Good Place, I honestly can't take anything seriously with Timothy Olyphant, because all I can see is Maya Rudolph, like, thirsting over him. Like,
Do you not
because
remember in
I haven't
Mandalorian
caught
as
up to
well?
that.
Cobb Vanth with his hair in the Mandalorian as well.
Cobbin,
I'm not sure.
You would know if you seen him in the Mandalorian.
He was good in that. He always picks out great roles in TV shows. So
I
obviously
was-
justified.
So sad Santa Clarita Diet got cancelled. Like, fucking, that was a great show.
With Oliphant, the first thing I saw him in, and Jose's going to know this film, and I bet the other two he don't, I'm going to guess. And that film is from 1999.
Yes.
Also stars Katie Holmes,
Yep.
and
100%.
it is called Go.
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 That's actually a really great film. And
Doug Liman, who went on to do Edge of Tomorrow, loads of great films. That was like one of his
so
early
good.
ones.
And that one, the writing is so important. It really is, along with the performances.
Well, the only thing with Kirsch though is that it was so obvious he was a synth. So I like the fake out synths, like where you're like, oh, he's a synth all along because you don't know. I like that, but with Olyphant, it was so obvious. Like,
But, I mean, they made it
like,
obvious.
yeah,
They just
intentionally
say, like,
obvious, yeah.
Like,
but
you're
I
a
like
simp.
they could have just not. I don't know. I liked it, but then at the same time, I'm like, I like the surprise of it.
Actually, you know what I liked also with the synth on the ship, the Asian guy. I don't have him on I can't find him on the list, but I think he did a really good job of being a creepy synth.
Oh, dude, he
'Cause
was so creepy.
It really showed you how their personalities were messed up, like in the first movie. So I think they kind of played it up where they were always a little twitchy, according to the second movie. So I think they did a good job of portraying.
That's when Bishop's like,
different
oh, he
versions.
was that model? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, they had behavioral problems. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was a nice twist on one of the earlier models.
This is just a little one, but I love the Xenomorph posing as a statue in episode 2.
Oh, that was good.
Because as the
Yeah.
camera pans, like, I remember thinking, oh, that statue looks like a xenomorph. That's clearly a fake out. And then it moved, and it was just like a reverse fake out, and just like, and it was like a reference to like the original when it hid in the pipes, and it was like in plain sight.
And they do a similar shot of that in Aliens as well, where there's
Yeah.
one just there in like the wall, and it just turns around. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
They're the best. They're the best Xeno kills, man. They're the best ones.
That and the guy chopped in half crawling across the floor. I actually love that.
Ooh, that was pretty good. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't remember that kill.
When in the
Episode
hotel
2?
room in the
In
party.
hotel room when
Oh,
the girl
yeah,
walks
yeah,
in,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah.
just like there, like.
Why was that party still going ahead? A fucking spaceship just crashed into them.
Rich people don't care.
So this brings me on to the bad.
The meat.
And I'm going to
of
get, and I don't really have that many things that I thought were out and out bad and terrible in this show. So I'm going to throw over to you guys and then defend some of your bad decisions and takes. But not all of them. Only some. Who wants to start? Who wants to throw the first dart at the Xenomorph?
I think the hybrid bodies of the children were never really well described in terms of what they could do. Were they just supposed to be really strong?
I'll tell you what they needed to do, Jose. Whatever
What
the
they-
plot needed them to do
Yeah.
is what they could do.
I have
Yeah.
talked about this like a few times. One thing that really bothers me is when a power level is not established of how strong someone is. Like, you have a scene of Wendy holding how many children? Like 5 children just
4 or
by
5
her
children,
arms. No problem. And then, like, in the final, like the penultimate episode, they struggle moving one body. Like,
Yeah,
they
like-
should have just been able to pick him up.
Or put him over the
Like,
shoulder.
Hold him over
That's what I
the
was-
shoulder,
Yeah.
or not even struggle. Like, even if they were like, "Oh, he's too big for us to carry both," but they shouldn't have acted like it's heavy.
In the first episode, she catches the tennis ball like with super quick reaction time. But I think it was in the second episode, her brother gets thrown out the hole as the alien, and she's just like, I'm like, her reaction time wouldn't have allowed her to save him. Like,
Again,
seriously,
isn't she like super fast? Like, it's
like, it's ridiculous.
It was very inconsistent
Yeah.
with what they could and couldn't do.
And there was
my
a scene
thing
where
with
she
the
opens
power,
the doors.
Yeah.
Oh, in the crash ship.
So my thing with the power level was, especially at the end, the last episode was
Mhm.
Wendy was too OP, and then there was just zero stakes for any of any character that we care about. There was zero stakes for, and it just immediately made the show less interesting or less exciting or anything when you've got nothing to be worried about for the characters that you care for. And even if you're rooting for the characters to then get one over on like Boy Cavalier or whatever like that, you kind of knew throughout that it wasn't going to happen as well on that last episode. You knew that wasn't going to be the case. So there was just nothing. There was just nothing there for me.
Yeah. Also, Wendy communicating wirelessly through the technology to the alien. I'm like, she was just speaking into whatever, and the alien could hear
That
her
was
somehow.
explained in a glitch, right? There was a glitch in her something.
No,
Not necessarily her
I don't think
speaking
it
to the
was.
alien.
I think
No, like
there was
when
some
she was
line
just
of dialogue.
calling him, like like when they were like miles apart on the
Yeah.
island, and she was just calling him. I mean, you could say that maybe
Echolocation.
aliens have like pretty good hearing, maybe that, but still, I was like that as well. He was like, he's on the other
Yeah,
side of the
I'm like,
island.
Come on,
Like-
let's do the proximity thing. You know?
I would agree with you. They do need to explain her power level and the connection with the aliens, and how suddenly she can just control all technology for no reason,
Yeah.
for no
And,
explainable reason.
Like,
They
the
have a
synths
way to-
as well, like control a
The
synth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Like,
again,
how
just
was
like,
the synth connected to the same network? Like
When she stopped Atom at the end, yeah.
Yeah, and again, like David, it's just like, the plot. She needed a way out. They wrote that in, and unfortunately, like that happens a lot with female characters in sci-fi, where they just make them over OP. It was the same with Rey in Star Wars. It's like a common thread when it comes to women in sci-fi, where they think like, oh, people are not going to root for this person unless we make them ridiculously powerful. Otherwise, people are not going to find them interesting.
And ironically, one of the best female characters to come from sci-fi is Ripley, who wasn't all overpowered.
No,
so, like the
but
fourth
just-
one when she was.
From 3 onwards, but we don't.
Was it?
We
Yeah.
ignore
Yeah,
those.
but that
I
like they
mean-
merged her with alien DNA, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
they did
something,
extremely
yeah.
No
That was
one
number 4.
cares
We
after
don't
about
like
those films.
in my like to me. We only have
Got
2
2
alien
movies.
movies. Yeah, only 2 movies exist. 1 and 2.
Whoa,
Oh,
Jose!
brilliant.
Nice.
But yeah, and then just like the idea that really bugs me as the general arc of the show is how woefully understaffed this lab facility is. It's just
Worst
ridiculous.
scientists ever. Like, this is like
Yeah.
a theme throughout. I think that's maybe why I find the alien movies not that scary, because I would never be that stupid. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know about you guys, but I took like high school biology and high school like chemistry and physics. We had better lab like rules than they
Yeah.
had. Like
Yeah.
like sterile. Why would you have a human/alien sized vent in your high security laboratory? Like, why would you? That makes no sense.
So the alien can get out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that facility was woefully understaffed. Again, do not eat and drink in a laboratory surrounded by dangerous species.
Seriously.
That just
Seriously.
again.
How many
worst
scientists did they actually have?
I
Not
mean,
enough.
One less
Like
after this.
2, and then
Okay,
there was
I
the
have
guy
to.
who
Since-
kept on spraying things that never led to anything.
The
Like,
mold guy.
I really
what
thought
was
that was
that
going to
dude?
lead to something. Like I thought he was going to be the one with the eyeball in his face.
Yeah,
Um,
same. I thought he was like
Well, that
a
was the
Chekhov's
plan.
gun.
He was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to find him. Atom was like, I'm going to find him. Okay, I'll get a mold guy. I was like, it's going to be that dude who we keep seeing spraying stuff.
I'd like to say my quote that I wrote in the group chat earlier. That this is Snickers from Jurassic Park levels of ineptitude. Once the creatures escape, like seriously,
Yeah.
like even after they escape,
that's
they're
a
like,
bit
hey,
far,
there's
but
I like
It's
that.
not-
I agree. But you can say that for the facility and for the ship. Like, it was both cases.
Yeah.
Like, they just like scientific protocol where.
Mhm. Oh, when they tried to open up the guy's chest to get the bugs out, wear their face masks.
Yeah. That drove me crazy. That quarantine.
Hey,
Quarantine.
let me put
face
gloves
mask.
on and nothing else.
I don't.
Oh,
Were
let's.
they even wearing gloves?
They wore gloves. That's the
Okay.
funniest part. They put on
If you're
gloves
going
and nothing
inside
else.
someone, you probably need gloves.
They're so
Yeah.
stupid. They probably would have not put on gloves.
And
Like,
that's what makes bad sci-fi to me is the idea that they have to be inept for things to go bad. And I also think that watching Andor with such good writing and such good motivation, and then going into this, it just made things worse. Like my
Andor doesn't have a xenomorph.
yeah, but still, like it turns
I mean,
what
this
the
hardly
broad
had a
idea of
xenomorph.
Star Wars.
Let's be fair. Like this,
That's, to be honest, that is actually one thing that I like, because you cannot overshow the xenomorph. You cannot play the xenomorph card way too much. Like, it needs to
Mhm.
be hidden.
at least play it in a scary way.
I think
No,
Hawley
it-
was just probably like, do you know what? The xenomorph's been done to death. Here's some new aliens, and we're going to do something different with the xenomorph. How to train your xenomorph.
It literally
We all saw
is
that meme, right?
Yeah.
No, but I love it. I love it. Honestly, I think I really enjoyed introducing new aliens as well, new other creatures. Other new
Because we don't know
creatures.
how they work, we don't know what they're
Mhm.
going to do, and that therein
Yeah.
lies the threat and the mystery and the horror,
It
which
was
is what
cool
you want.
to see all of that. Yeah, it was. I didn't like how they turned the franchise killer, the thing that's actually made it, and they turned it into a puppy dog, an attack dog. You know,
Or bring your
Yeah.
daughter to work day, as someone posted at the end, where you got the alien and a little alien on the side of the cage.
Oh yeah,
yeah, there
I
was the
don't
baby
like
alien.
Xeno being a pet at all. That is just I find it stupid, and I still remember messaging Neil. I'm like, please tell me that's just not where this is going. Like, do not turn Xeno into a pet. Like,
Yeah, the scientists were married, and we had no clue until halfway through. Like, where was that? Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Okay.
like that is one of my like big bads of the show. Character motivation and character drives was nowhere. Like, you did not know what motivated any of the characters. The only characters that had motivation was Morrow, the brother, and Boy Cavalier. But even Boy Cavalier is still a bit like wishy-washy. And like, I know Neil is gonna argue that they're setting things up for the next season. No, you cannot do that. Like, you have to have a character arc in one season of television. You can't just say like, all shall be revealed. You can do that with something like Kirsch, because like you can have one character that you don't really know which one there is, but having zero motivation for one character, like it's just no one, like what was the point? Like what are we doing here? Like what are your goals? Like what is driving you? Why are
Yeah.
you here?
To
That
make
was
2 to 3 seasons.
that was
And
never
even
answered.
I mean, you still got to establish something in the first season. You know, like
Yeah.
Hermit just was idiotically naive about, oh, I'm going to bring my sister with me after they spent $5 billion on a body for her. I'm
No, but the
like,
characters, he realizes, and the characters in the show are like, yeah, that's not happening. And he's like, oh yeah, I guess.
I mean, that's still human. That's still human. That's why I say that's the only character, like, because that's a drive. His purpose is trying to
Fair,
protect his
fair.
sister. That is still makes sense. But the rest of it doesn't make sense. Especially like Boy Cavalier, like he wants to find someone smarter than him. But then like the second the sins become a reality, he immediately loses interest. And then also, like just from like a long time plan, Sins is like a terrible, like human synthetic hybrids is just a terrible plan in the scheme of capitalism. Like, where's the money in that? If all the rich people are immortal, what then? What next? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, there is no money in that in the capitalist world. Like, what is the end goal here? Like, to live forever, and then what?
I mean, that is a TV
Figure it
show,
out then,
actually.
because you're living forever.
Like, sorry, even the people that you say did have motivation, like Moro.
Like,
Someone tell me
barely.
Moro's motivation.
I mean, he's was more like a death wish. He's like, fuck it, I like signed off my life. If this, that's why.
Yeah, but he was
I'm-
like obsessed with getting
yeah,
with like
because he had nothing else. Like,
Yeah,
he
his
literally
daughter
had nothing
died.
Else.
He's
No, I don't
like,
think his daughter
this-
died. I think his daughter
It-
was just really old. Did she
No,
die?
no. She died in the paper. Like there was a report.
Oh, I didn't read.
Yeah, I barely
catch that.
caught it because I was reading as fast as I could. But it's like, oh, she died 10 years after he left the Earth.
That was
So-
it, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You'd think you'd want to screw over the company that
To
sent
be
Well,
you
honest,
off,
that,
then, wouldn't
that
you?
makes more sense.
But didn't he know he was going to be away for that long?
Yeah,
No,
he
he
knew
did,
he
Yeah,
was
but
going
they
to
do.
be
like-
gone.
Yes.
Yeah, he did, and he did it for the money, so the money would be left for his daughter.
Yeah, that's a tricky one, honestly. I think that one actually did have. Although Dame Sylvia, I think had another one where it wasn't clear. You could tell that they were wanting to show her have reasons for, like, maybe it's because she wanted a child of her own. Maybe it's because her and her husband couldn't do anything. Like even for us as the viewer, they never established why she wants to do any of this, and they don't really establish what she does. Is she the therapist? I feel like every
she's like the
individual
mother.
child. Yeah, but I feel like every individual child should have their own therapist instead of one for everyone. Because
Yeah, but they're a super illegal base in the middle of New Siam, so you know.
yeah, okay.
They got that's part of the reason why there isn't as many staff and people all that, because what
Yeah.
they're doing is illegal and so they're trying to keep it under wraps.
But they still can't. I mean, you say that, and then they let the brother just wander in, like, and they had new soldiers just join them. Like, you say it's a top secret facility, but it looked like it was an open door policy to me. Like, they
Yeah.
just sent the synthetics into a war zone. Like, isn't no one gonna notice that child is ridiculously strong? Like,
Well, they didn't realise they were children, did they?
like, true, but still, like, that person is ridiculously strong. I mean, they were adults, but they still didn't look adult.
Because cyborgs and Sims exist at that point. It's only if someone
They're
speaks to
stronger
them,
than
they would know.
synthetics. That's the
Yeah, but
problem.
No one's
with the
going
power
to
level.
in the moment of like in a battle zone. No one's going to. Oh, they're not a simple cyborg because they're a bit stronger than someone else. So again, it's the whole thing that the power levels between the three weren't really established.
While we're on the battle zone, why the fuck would you walk into that spaceship? Why would
'Cause
you
they were
walk
told to.
into it without? No one told them to. That was if there would have been
Didn't
a
Boy
scene.
Cavalier tell them to
Nope.
go in and?
Nope. He just runs in.
Oh.
They just run in. If there was a scene between Hermit and Boy Cavalier, again, that would have established more motivation, and that would have also made him immediately suspicious of him because he's sending him into a dangerous situation. They literally just run into the spaceship without like checking if it's structurally secure. They just run past injured people,
Mhm.
and then just
Yeah, but
Wasn't it a search and rescue? Like
It
was
was a
search
search
and
and
rescue.
rescue.
Search
They
and rescue.
neglected quite a lot of people that they should have been rescuing.
They
And-
could have been like, guys, get out.
Yeah.
Here's the exit. Here's some aid.
Exactly. And even in a search and rescue scenario, if a strange spaceship lands into a building, the first thing you fucking do is secure the area and then quarantine the spaceship.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
again, no scientific protocol. Like, if you're a trained military officer, you, like, the first thing you do is secure the spaceship and make sure it's
Yeah.
structurally stable to enter.
Yeah.
Like, if it came from space. Like, that's what I said. If they had a scene of Boyd Cavalier ordering them in and say go in or else, that would have made sense. But they didn't.
It's subtle moments, subtle
It's
little
subtle.
scenes that
And
could
then
have
that's
made it
kind
better.
of, for me, what's a bit of lazy writing.
You know
Yeah.
what's the laziest writing part for me?
Are you
Where
going to
the
say the
fuck
raft?
did they get that raft from?
The raft, yes.
Where did they
That
get the
is my-
raft?
The self-destructing elevator.
No. Do you know? Okay, so do you know the kids have got the
Arthur. They bring his body back.
and they're trying to take his body to the thing, and then they put him on the
Beach.
water, and all of a sudden
And
he's
next
on a
thing they're
raft.
in a raft.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
where the fuck did the raft come from?
I
Did
wrote
they
that in
just
my notes.
build the raft out
It
of
looks like
nowhere?
they built it, but like, how do they know how to build a raft? Like,
No.
Yeah.
And when did they get the time, Jose?
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
And nothing. It's just raft just appeared.
Yeah.
Natasha
Laura
said
was
to
like,
me.
where the fuck were you? Oh, sorry, we were building the fucking raft.
Natasha was like,
Yeah.
Natasha was the one that noticed it. She went to me. She was like, where'd they get the raft from?
I
And I
literally,
was
on
like,
my
where the
notes,
fuck
say,
did they get the raft from?
where did the raft come from? Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
I wrote that. The logistics, like
I
the
didn't
layout,
catch
there's
that,
no
but yeah.
real sense of like where everything is in this. Because in the scene where like he actually dies, like, oh, we just need a little farther. The beach ends right there, so that means they have to go back inland to go to this other beach. I mean, granted, it makes sense, but yeah. And then like the guy wakes up, he's like, "Oh, our memory. I know. Don't worry. I know you were scared. Let's actually just be nice." I wouldn't do that if I remembered a face hugger on my face. I would have been like, "What did you
Facehuggers
try to
kinda
do
get
to
a bit
me?"
temporary amnesia, don't they? Like,
Maybe,
so,
I don't know. I
like,
would have been angry though.
But I
like,
mean,
why
I
are we
feel
on
He
like-
wasn't. He wasn't alive long enough to be angry, Jose.
Yeah, fair enough. But it would have been better, like more reactions, like you know. Yeah.
Jose's Emmy clip right there.
tearing into this, but like one thing I did actually like, which I forgot to mention in the good, is like I think they added new effects when the face hugger was on the face, because that was some scary audio. That was like that sucking
Oh yeah, the
noise.
sounds.
The sounds.
Mhm.
And
That I
was it
like.
scan around.
Did
Yeah.
you see Romulus, Marie?
No, I did not.
Romulus fucking nails the
Really?
face hugging, proper gross out face hugger scenes. Yeah.
I gotta admit though, I thought it was funny. Like it really took me out when the kid tried to give him water, it through the straw when he was under the bed, and I was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
At the same
such
time,
a
he's
naive little
kid,
boy."
So
Yeah, I
like
know.
it makes sense. Like he's.
If you're a
like,
kid
does-
and you've got a half dead body underneath your bed, that's what you do, man. You give it some
Yeah,
water.
I mean that's the
Give
thing
it
is the
water.
Like a
writing was
plant.
so back and forth. Like that's a great little moment showing a naive young boy in an adult body, and then yeah, everything else.
I think like in terms of like that and like just overall story, like as David said, like there was just no weight to it.
I got one random thing I just want to throw in. I saw in my notes. Did anyone notice the line when Wendy says later on the aliens are honest, and then I think Kermit replies, "No, they're predators." I was like, it was the Leo gif again. Okay, so this brings us on to the multiple what the fucks. And I've got a couple of short ones for you. First of all, Mr. Strawberry says fuck off is my line in the season. I was just waiting for a nibs killing spree. Wasn't quite a spree, more like I'm going to rip that guy's jaw off. So I did love that. And then obviously my other highlight of the season, and I think a lot of people's highlight of the season, was T. Oculus, the little squiddy eyeball alien thing. People love that character, man. Like, how many people just like, this is a hero we need. This is the hero we deserve. I was like, you're getting behind a parasitic zombie alien eye character, but hey, okay, let's go with it. I mean, loved him. But we have a few negative what the fucks, don't we? Let's talk first that I think a few of us felt that the final episode was underwhelming and that there was no definitive story arc to any of the characters. All should be revealed, which is lazy writing.
You just quoted me right there.
That was your
yeah,
quote,
you just
yes.
read my note. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of like mentioned this in the bad, but it's just like the fact that like nothing was really resolved. And like I understand like you need to set up for the future season, but you still need to resolve something. You still need to reveal something. And it just like it just like makes me a little bit nervous because it's like, oh, like maybe they still pull it together, but yeah, I was just waiting for a reveal or waiting for a twist or even waiting for another big killing spree, and we just didn't get it. It was just
For me, it was the shift in power, right? The whole season they've been treated as children. They are children mentally, but they've been treated as children, and now, like you say, it's like they're awakening, especially Wendy's in this episode, going, "Wait a minute, we don't have to take this shit anymore. We're more powerful than them. They're afraid of us, and that run." I was like, "Yeah,
That's pretty good.
but we all
it
knew
was
that was
good."
gonna happen.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if we knew it; they did it, and it made sense narratively in the course of the season.
I mean, did it?
That's your
It
arc.
didn't
Yes.
make
What is there?
sense. It didn't make sense because the smartest man in the world created a person that is stronger than him, smarter than him,
Has
It
abilities
just-
that
and
Yeah, but
control
anyone-
wireless
Wasn't
has
even
technology.
abilities
he
that the
kinda
script
created-
desires at any point.
Yeah.
Because
Uh,
anyone who self-professes himself as the smartest man in the world clearly isn't. And that's going to be, and we're all waiting for his comeuppance. So that's clearly all set up now. And like you say, he's in the cage at the end of the episode.
Yeah, I think what
Yeah,
it
but
comes down
For
to
me,
is
that's enough.
I just think it just shows that there's a lot of contradictions to this is like the John Hammond of Jurassic Park. Oh, spared no
No,
expense.
don't say that name, Jose.
Reference to something we don't know about unless we're in the chat. But in that movie, he spared no expense, but he was on a skeleton crew. But that was better set up because there was a storm and whatnot. But here, there was no reason to be so poorly ready for the situation that arose with the children. Like erasing the memory of one of the children and not telling the other children and then just letting them talk to each other.
Yeah, what
Eventually-
did they
that
think was
was
gonna
that was
happen?
so stupid.
It
There's
was
fi-
so stupid.
And what he really needed was therapy. She's like, hey, let's just help her figure this out and get past it. No, we're going to erase her memory because we have a thing and a deadline. And I'm like, you're spending $5 billion per body and you're not going to give us a little time for therapy.
But then
It's
at the
dumb.
same time, he's like, oh, we can't have a faulty product, but then he sends them into a battle, and then he also doesn't care about them. And then again, what is the end goal with them? Like,
dumb.
dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have faith in Noah Hawley because I've watched all his shows and he's always delivered. The only thing that I would say is kind of a negative is that you set all this stuff up, you leave it on the cliffhanger, you don't give a resolution to almost any of the plot threads or plot lines in story without an officially confirmed season 2. The idea is that it's going to be 2 to 3 seasons is what he originally planned out for. And I feel like it is definitely going to be renewed because it has been a big hit. Empire magazine did a live screening of the finale in the cinema in London and had a Q&A with some of the cast afterwards. And they still had the exact same haircuts that they have in the show. And everyone was
Oh.
like, well, the actors wouldn't have that now if they weren't doing the show. So that was kind of the big hint that they are probably in pre-production. And even Noah Hawley has said recently, like literally in the last couple of days, we know where the story's going. The writing team's ready to go. The second we get the green light, we're back in production. If it gets cancelled and they don't renew it, then yeah, fucking idiots. I do feel like they're going to pay it off. Like if you've watched Legion, the show he did with Dan Stevens, which was utterly bizarre and brilliant, then, you know, it pays off. He does know what he's doing as a showrunner, Hawley.
I think it just required a little bit of polishing with the script because everything else was perfect for me.
Mhm.
Like visually, like acting wise, everything is great. And I mean, almost to the point where like it was 8 episodes for the season. Maybe just give us 2 more, and then rearrange some scenes and timing of things. Like give us a little more because like there was this moment in the second episode, I believe, where the brother found the baseball and he had a memory, and I'm like, where did that come from? You know, like they're trying to give these characters emotions, but it's just like, you know, off way in my opinion. But yeah, there was just some parts that really took me out, honestly.
When me and David got out of seeing one battle after another the other night, connective tissue to this show, at a certain point in that film, you just go with it. Like we
Mhm.
weren't overly blown away by the openings. And I mean, for David, I think you said, was it the first hour of the film? You were kind of like, what's going
roughly
on?
the first hour, yeah.
And then it kicks in. He's like, okay, I'm with it now. This is genius. I thought I'd say maybe the first sort of 20 minutes or so, but then it's kind of you get into the vibe of the film. You just go with it. You don't question all the things. And I feel, especially for someone like Marie, who's just I can see what she's going to say. You need to have these things. For me, you don't. If you're enough into the story and where it's going, and you don't have to explain everything, and you can ignore the dumb stuff because you're just in it for the ride, like you're in it for the cool moments. You enjoy, like again, perfect example of how we differ on this show is at the end where she goes, "Now we rule," and then the song kicks in. I was like, "Awesome," and you were like, "No, shit." So
Cheesy as fuck.
yeah.
I mean, the thing is, that I think really depends on the genre. And this is science fiction with the word science in it.
And fiction.
Yes, but the science, like, it still, in my opinion, needs to make sense, especially, like, if it's, like, it depends on the genre and the medium. If it's like an hour-long movie and you don't have time to explain everything, fine. But if this is a TV series, not only is it a TV series, it's a prequel. That like adds a level of explanation and a level of care. And as I said, like just there's a difference of just going with it and then lazy writing. I mean, we're not award-winning writers. We solved some of the like plot points in this in this conversation where we said if they just added one more scene with this in it, then it would have made more sense. If they just did this is not going with the right. This is just you fucking missed stuff.
And weirdly, they could have actually added these scenes because all the episode lengths were completely different.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
So
think
there was no
like,
thing saying to them, "Oh, it has to be this long."
this is the era of streaming. You're not restricted to a runtime anymore. You can do whatever the fuck you want. And they had one thing that blew me away is the budget they had for this show. Like I honestly, when I watched episode 1, I didn't think this was a TV show because it was so like it visually stunning.
One of the final things we need to get into in this section, and please, Marie, David, pick your weapons. Me and Jose are going to move backwards. One thing that David thought was the best thing about the season is one thing Marie has in the what the fuck section. And Marie, explain yourself.
Yeah, so
David?
I put this in the what the fuck because I knew you guys were gonna react what the fuck to my reaction. I knew this is gonna get a bad reaction for you guys. Okay,
Get my
episode
eyeballs ready.
5. I do not deny that it was a great episode. Like it was a really good episode. But what did it actually contribute to the plot?
Give you more backstory on Morrow a little bit.
But it didn't. When
It
we
did. It
meet
made you
Morrow,
understand his motivations.
when we meet Morrow in episode 2, he is a badass. He understands the Xenomorph. He knows how to take it down. He knows that webbing thing is going to hold him. He didn't learn any of that in episode 5. He had barely any scenes with Xeno. How did he get all that information? I really enjoyed the start of episode 1 because we were like, we've seen this story before. Like, we don't need to see the Xenomorph breaking out and attacking everyone. So I really liked the fact that they didn't show it in episode 1. And then when we went back in episode 5, I was just like, okay. And I get that it was just an homage, but the fact that how much of the other plot wasn't fleshed out, it just...
I can see your point. I think what it was showing was the reasons why the ship had the aliens on it in the first place, the mission that it was on, that it was for Yutani. I think that's the information that it was telling you. And then it was fleshing out a little bit more of Morrow. It was fleshing out a little bit more of the Eye Monster. Yeah. It was fleshing out a little bit more here and there, as well as just being a really fucking good standalone episode. Without that episode, you don't know really what the ship was doing or why it had all these aliens or anything.
Or why it crashed.
I mean, we still don't know what it was doing.
Why it crashed, yeah.
Bioweapons.
A lot of that.
Okay, and again, like while we're on the subject of aliens, like at first I did really like the new addition of the new aliens, but again, when you think about it, they don't make sense. If they mainly feed on like blood and things, then what do they feed on their own planet?
Well, we don't know that yet.
We don't know.
And we haven't had time for them to do that.
That's what they
not
research.
Important yet. Yeah, that's what they're researching. Badly.
But they would have like encountered bigger fauna if they were the ones attacking them. Like I don't. It's like if
look, that'll all be in season 2 when we get a flashback episode to them getting the samples onto the ship.
It better
and then Marie will be
because
like,
like No, I would like. I mean, I'm always right, but I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong. But like, if you primarily have a creature that feeds on blood, but it lives in space where there's no life, like, how does it live?
Well, it was clearly on a
No,
planet,
it lived on a
wasn't it?
planet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lived
it
on
would
a
have been on a
planet.
planet. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Like, that's the more
You want
answers.
details, right? You want details
I
of
want
stuff that they
details.
haven't explained. Yeah, but that's not
I think
important
that's
to the
the
plot
fun of it.
at this
It
point.
is because it like
No, it's not.
the
I'm not
fundament-
too bothered about understanding where they come from or anything
Yeah.
like that at this point.
You don't want to explain the
you,
mystique
like
away of these
with
things.
the xenomorph, you don't understand from the first Alien film
How, why,
what
where,
that
when,
is.
and
Why
you're
what?
completely
yeah.
right. You can make that argument with the xenomorph, but like one's enough. You don't need to add more variables to it.
Well, you
Like-
do, because as Hawley said, he's told the story. Everyone's told the story of the Xenomorph, which is why he changed the way he handled it in this one and brought the new aliens in to make it different, so that we don't know how it's going to work with the new aliens.
The xenomorph should have still been the scary thing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The xenomorph wasn't the scary thing.
No.
The whole thing wasn't scary. It wasn't a horror show, even slightly.
I mean, like,
Marie watched it.
I was about to say that should be the bar of horror,
It,
and
it was
like,
definitely
yeah.
more gore. than anything.
Jose, where do you come down on the episode 5 argument?
I enjoyed it, honestly. Like, I am a fan of the first two films. It was a fun episode. I think it was a great homage, but it is kind of. I admit it. It's definitely a filler episode, but I don't have anything against that.
I don't think it's filler. I think it does flesh out. I just think because it doesn't flesh out enough, doesn't make it.
I mean, it did show why Morrow had such dedication
In
because his daughter
episode
was
1,
dead.
you're like, Morrow's the baddie.
Yeah, honestly, I thought that.
I cared more about the crew of episode 5 than I did about the rest of the cast throughout the whole show.
Which means that
Yeah.
episode done its job.
Yeah, I think it did a good job because
Well, it means the show did a bad job.
Yeah.
I think the dining scene in the first episode did a great job of showing the crew better than the first episode entirely showed the rescue squad.
Yeah,
Like,
we knew
the
who
brother-
these characters were. Yeah.
The brother
Yeah,
just
yeah.
was like, "Oh, let me go out and hang out with these guys on the workout section," and then the ship crashes, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go," and then there's barely any personality shown, even while on the ship looking for people.
like even the conversations between the engineer and his like apprentice.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that was,
So-
what's his name? Do you recognise the actor as well? The Northern Irish actor, Michael Smiley.
I did
He's-
recognize him from somewhere.
He's
But
in
I wasn't
everything,
sure.
dude. He's
Yeah.
in everything.
It's one of those things like when like at first you like it, but then the more you think about it, you're like, like this.
As Queens of the Stone Age say, you gotta go with the flow.
Honestly,
No, I
the
need
last two
logic.
episodes was full of sayings that were just so superficial for me. Like when they were in the elevator trying to leave the facility, and she's like, the cold air's letting out," and I'm like, "From an elevator?" Like, it was just, yeah. I was just like, really, what's going
People
on
say
here with the
awkward
writing?
things in elevators, man. It's-
Yeah, it
to be
was-
honest, elevator like I
It's like,
avoid
get
elevators
in.
like the plague.
Oh,
So let's move on to the final section of the podcast, and that is what our predictions for where we want the story to go in season 2. Now, because obviously, Marie, your biggest problem is we didn't get enough answers. So I feel like we should talk about what we want to happen and where we want the show to go. So my first prediction is somehow we need to get from Zombie Arthur to Oculus getting into Boy Cavalier, because that's where we all thought it was headed. Or smartest man on the planet, right? Is it his folly being that he thinks he's more of a genius than Arthur, but now Arthur is souped up with Oculus, although admittedly dead. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. Puppeting him. Could Arthur and Oculus together be smarter than Boy Cavalier? And that could be his downfall.
that's where I think it's hard to say because that eyeball, we just don't know how smart it really is.
It is going to
just-
talk. We're waiting for him to talk for Arthur, man, and it's going to be creepy as fuck.
Yeah, but there's plenty of idiots who can talk. We know that for sure in my country.
Wow.
There's 4 of them on this
Burn.
podcast.
I was about to say I thought he was about to burn us.
Just burn his
Come on,
country.
I have nowhere to talk with that. But I think, it is interesting to see what the potential is with the eyeball and if he'll jump from maybe human to human to see if he can find a smarter brain to latch onto. Because who
I
knows?
feel like Endgame is he's got to get into
But he makes the brain smarter. Like they were monitoring, and like the sheep's intelligence went up. I think the
Oh, you're
biggest
right.
problem
Okay.
is that Arthur's
But it is.
corpse is just going to start decomposing.
But it was pretty quick. See, he hadn't been there long, so you never know.
Well, the sheep didn't decompose after it was taken over.
No,
No.
but
Oh
Arthur
wait,
was
you're
already
talking about
dead.
the. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, Arthur's already. But we don't know that yet, so hopefully they'll explain that in the first episode and not in the 5th of season 2. Also, I just can't wait for whatever wonderful needle drops we get for season 2. So that was just every episode was just getting to the end. I was just waiting for the with a big smile on my face. Can we have more of Nibs on a killing spree, please? Also, hashtag please don't kill Nibs in season 2.
So more of Mr. Strawberry as well.
More Mr. Strawberry. Do you know what? The Mr. Strawberry was a callback to. Newt has a little doll in Aliens,
Oh, the head.
which
yes.
I didn't put together. And when I was watching Aliens the other night, I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, she's got the doll that she carries with her everywhere. Creepy fucking doll though, man.
It's sad that Newt dies at the beginning of 3. What a load of bollocks that is.
Do you remember at one point the guy who did District 9 had a pitch to make an Alien 3
I'm
sequel?
so disappointed that it didn't happen.
Never happened. And
So
his idea was
disappointed.
he was the same as the rest of us. And he was just like, I was so angry when I saw Alien 3. Yeah, he's just like, you killed Newt, you killed Hicks. They earned a chance to live. You don't kill them off screen. And his
Yeah.
idea for a legacy sequel was do what like a lot of the other franchises have done. Yep, we're going to ignore the bad sequels. This is the direct sequel to Alien 2.
Yeah.
And no one went for it.
I loved
Sigourney
it.
Weaver wanted to go for it. She was like, because she'd worked with him
That would've been
on
sick.
Chappie. Was it Chappie?
Yeah.
She worked with him on one of his films, I think. And
Was it?
I was like, oh, yeah, just do it. But anyway.
It was such a great opportunity right there.
We also need to find out who Kirsch is really working for. Because at the minute, he is just an agent of chaos, just letting shit burn for the sake of it and looking annoyed all the time. Also, I reckon he's probably working for one of the other corporations. Because we learn there's 5, but we only really see Prodigy and Weyland-Yutani in this series. There's almost no mention at all of Threshold, Lynch, and Dynamic, aka the other 3. Could Kirsch be working for one of them?
Isn't that 6 companies that you just mentioned?
No, Prodigy, Weyland-Yutani is one.
Wayland,
Isn't it?
I thought Wayland and Yutani were separate and they're a conglomerate of the 2.
I thought they was joined at this point.
Yeah, I think they're joined.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Also, there's one little fan theory that everyone would love, because obviously Ridley Scott has always hinted at doing a tie-in between Blade Runner and Aliens because of the synthetics, and
Oh.
everyone said, do you know what? Kirsch does look a hell of a lot like Roy Batty from Blade Runner. And so everyone just keeps waiting for the Tyrell Corporation to be mentioned as one of the other corporations. And then you could
that would
like
be
have
cool.
it tied into there. But they're making, but Amazon are separately making a Blade Runner TV series, which is, we could get into Blade Runner some other time, man. We also definitely need to explain Wendy's link to the Xenomorph and God level tech skills. Because just saying she's clever and the oldest won't cut it in season 2.
One thing that I would have changed, if anything, just to make it a little more realistic in this weird, crazy world, is if she had to like plug in to the computers to get control. But the
Wi-Fi,
fact that
she
she's
doesn't need it.
the
She's
Wi-Fi, it just seemed a little overkill. And that,
She's got
how did she
10G.
do this? We built these
Bluetooth,
bodies.
man.
We don't know
Yeah.
how they work. Oh
Yeah,
man,
that's again.
so
yeah.
weird.
You haven't spoke about like so Wayland Yutani have got the like fleet of helicopters
Soldiers
coming
coming in,
to the
yeah,
island, haven't they? Like
yes.
that's like the main thing that's going to be the first episode of season 2. If
I think it's
happens.
going to be them hiding, maybe.
No, I honestly have no idea where it was going to go. That's a little thing. So, like, even though Wendy says we rule at the end, they are still just superpowered children, so should easily be trappable by competent security forces. I know what Marie's going to say. None of the security forces have been competent in the show at all. But they haven't had to deal with the Weyland-Yutani rep soldiers yet. So my thinking is, what's going to happen? Obviously, they're going to come onto the island and they're going to find Boy K, Sylvia, Kirsch, Morrow, and Ennis ends in the jail still. Are they going to find them in the jail still? Will the aliens attack both sets of them then? Will the Lost Boys just do one and run off? My guess is that some of the Lost Boys are going to get captured by the Weyland-Yutani lot. And season 2 is basically going to be Alien Prison Break, as the Lost Boys and Hermit have to try and save the other Lost Boys back from Weyland-Yutani. Maybe with the help of their new zombie leader, I Monster Arthur? Doesn't sound great when I say it like that, does it?
I hate fetch quest plots. I hate them so much because they don't move anything forward. And that's not going to give us any answers.
Yeah, and Wendy's a little too overpowered for anyone to be stuck for some reason.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna even manage to set foot on the island. Like, I think we're gonna get a xenomorph attacking a helicopter or something like that.
There's only 2 of them, and that's where my gripe is. It's like the
They
Marines and
still
even
have
in
more eggs.
Aliens.
They have humans.
Yeah,
That's the thing is, I honestly don't know where it's going. That's the best idea I could come
I
up with,
think-
and that isn't
I think,
that
But
great.
that's not a good thing that you don't know where it's going because you don't know anyone's
it is.
character motivation.
No, but it is good not knowing where a show's going for once, because when you tune in to watch it, if you know, I don't like always being the smug person who's like, oh yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I know, like I
Well,
like
to be honest,
genuinely
because you're
be.
never right.
Occasionally, I'm right. And I just like watching a show, and I'm just like, oh, that's awesome. I didn't know it was going there. That's really clever. And this is a show where, for all the issues that you guys have raised, that I can't really argue with, I still enjoyed it, and I'm still
Yeah.
really interested to see where the story's going.
I mean,
Was it
most of my
entertaining at the end of the day? That's the thing. Yes, it was.
Yeah, I was going to say most of my frustration is I did find it entertaining, but I just didn't think it was as polished as it could be. It was just little things that took me out that were kind of annoying. But I wouldn't have finished the series if I didn't enjoy it. So I think that says a
You
lot.
wanted it to be better, coming from
Yeah.
a place of love.
Exactly. We're like the disappointed parents. Like, we're not angry, we're just disappointed.
Oh, Jose.
And to round us off, I also asked for comments. And I did it yesterday, but obviously yesterday in my life was a horror show. So we got 2 comments. And we got one from Dino's Reviews at ReviewDino2. It was hilariously bad. I might watch season 2 just to see if it can get any worse.
Yeah, we're not the only ones.
Dino!
You didn't say it was bad, guys. You just said you were disappointed.
Read through the lines, Neil. Read through the lines.
Sorry, I got someone in my eye, Jose. At JM Writer said, I thought Babou Ceesay and Timothy Olyphant were excellent. They need a whole locked room episode in season 2 with just the 2 of them. Overall, the first 2 episodes were great. Then it got too slow. Nice to see Adrian Edmondson not twatting someone with a frying pan and doing some good acting. Yes. So before the crew of the US WNR sign off, let's see, is it a recommendation? And what would you give the show out of 5? Jose.
I would recommend it. It's too good not to recommend. And even though I had my qualms, I'd still give it at least a 3.5 stars.
David.
Again, yeah, I agree with Jose 100%. I would watch it, especially if you're a fan of the Alien franchise, and I'd also give it 3.5 stars.
And Marie. Ooh.
Well, pressure's on. Yeah, no, I would. To be honest, I would recommend it. Just surely, also just for the visuals and the production design, because that is it is second to none. And honestly, rating, like, it's between like a 3.5, but also like 3.5 and a soft 4. So let's go 3 3/4.
Oh, you was gonna go lower.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
expecting
I
a
know
2.5.
you were, but to be honest, I'm a sucker for good production design as well. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go a soft 4, and it is a recommendation, because I thoroughly enjoyed the whole thing from start to finish. Right, well, that's all the time we have on the How to Train Your Xenomorph episode of the We Need Heroes podcast. I'd like to thank my co-hosts, David, Marie, and Jose. Jose, where can we find you on the socials?
My photography Instagram is at Jose Lopez Photos, and I also have a website where you can see more of my wedding work, and that is www.jlopezphotos.com. And Jennifer
Did you say
Lopez.
fork?
Fork?
Sound like you said wedding fork.
to be honest, I did hear it as well.
Okay. All right. Oh, rewind.
Wax on, wax off.
All right. And for my wedding work, you can find that on www.jlopezphotos.com.
Why are you saying it so slowly, like a robot?
Because obviously, if I slur
a
it,
synth.
it sounds like something else.
The batteries were like really running out there, weren't they?
He's the synth of the group.
He's a synth. Get him. Break his legs. David, where can we find you on the socials?
Is Jose okay?
He's frozen. That's perfect.
Was he actually frozen or pretending to be frozen?
That was
I was
so
pretending.
still, bro.
You were
That was
pretending.
so
I was pretending.
good.
That scared the shit out of me.
Wow.
That was scarier than the whole season of television we just
Now
watched.
that's the Emmy performance. Neil, right?
and that's the thumbnail for the episode for Jose.
Oh wow. Okay.
David,
All right.
where can people
You
find
can
you
find
on the
me
socials?
at We Needed Roads on Instagram. You can also find me at long.d at Blue Sky, where I'll post about once a month. And you can also follow Cheddar. Follow Cheddar at Cheddar the Cheesy Sausage on Instagram, because Cheddar needs some love.
Cheddar's got more followers than us, David. I don't think he does.
He does, yeah, but everybody loves Cheddar. Give Cheddar
yeah,
a follow.
you need to do some cross promotion. Start promoting our stuff over on Cheddar's page.
Like, yeah, get like a We Needed Roads dog bed. You know, give
Yeah.
him
Or
like a little dog coat.
t-shirt.
You should be his.
We've been
voice
over this,
and do
David. There
voiceovers.
is a We Needed. You can get a Delorean bed, dog bed. So
I did
buy it.
look at that. It was quite expensive, though.
No, put our business cards in his mouth.
That.
That would last 2 seconds, from what I believe.
Oh,
I've seen of David's post.
yeah, yeah. Have you seen that video of him ripping the post? Yeah.
Scaring the shit out of the mail women.
Marie, where can people find you on the socials?
You can find me under the handle Life on Mars. That's Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, even though TikTok is not happy with me and keeps restricting my content because I pissed off China and Trump. So show some love there. And you can also check out my other podcast, Two Girls, One Reasonable Cup.
And you can find me at Needy Roads on Twitter, Neil Gregory78 on Instagram and Threads, NeilG78 on Blue Sky, and also at the We Needy Roads podcast on TikTok. And for more We Needy Roads shenanigans, you can find us on Spotify and also on YouTube, where you can find our full library of episodes. And if you like what you've heard, hit that bell icon and subscribe, as we upload lots of short form content, instant reviews, trailer reaction videos on that channel. And don't forget to leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought of Alien Earth Season 1 and what you want from a second season. Right, I'm off to check all the water bottles and train my Xenomorph, not a euphemism. Make sure to join us next time on your favourite eyeball squid monster powered pop culture podcast. See you then.
We Needed Roads.